Who will get a beating? I don't know. And to be honest, I really don't care, because I don't follow any team. But come Monday, whoever gets beaten will get a thrashing on live, on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on the radio. But we will not forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember Allah subhanahu when we're watching a game. Perfect example. How many people do remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Not many. And no one. Even if the time of salah comes in between the game, we will delay our salah till the extent that we will end up missing our salah. We will make qada of it, but we will want to watch every minute of that game. I think just a couple of years ago, was it the World Cup or the Euros, where so many brothers, astaghfirullah, for the game, for the World Cup, they were missing the Taraweeh, they were missing the Isha with the Jama'ah. Astaghfirullah, in the month of Ramadan, where the rewards are multiplied by the hundreds. But rather than get those rewards, what do? We miss out on the rewards, and we are going behind watching these games. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the second verse, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ, and be not like those who forget Allah. So He makes them forget their own souls when they forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the second verse under the second heading of the article of Shaykh Ibn al-Qayyim, written in Madarij al-Salikin. So viewers who are logging in, Jazakallah khair. Shaykh Najib Khan, you Jazakallah for joining us. Brother Hussein Sheikh, Jazakallah joining as well, and the sister as well, Jazakumullah khairah to all of you. Please do take benefit, make dua at the same time that I say what is correct and what is right, and invite others as well to join in with this program. We are live on Facebook and we are also live on YouTube. You can send in your comments on our WhatsApp number, which is 07510769997. That number once again, 07510769997. I really do suggest that you save that number under Radio Munadil Islam, and we will be back after this one short break. Jazakallah khair.
शब गुजरे मदीने पाक में, गुजरे दिन मक्के तो शब गुजरे मदीने पाक में, गुजरे दिन मक्के तो शब गुजरे मदीने पाक में। रोशनी का ये सफर लिख दे मेरी तकदीर में, रोशनी का ये सफर लिख दे मेरी तकदीर में। रब्बाना या रब्बाना 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 रब्बाना या रब्बाना।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, viewers and listeners on the Munadil Islam app, and those who are listening and watching on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Jazakallah for joining us tonight. I am your host, Ibrahim, and I don't like to add, but Sheikh Ibrahim, with this peaceful hour, which have been allocated 8:30 to 9:30 Monday to Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I bring you lessons from authentic ahadith. And on Thursdays, we will be having the night of salutations, night of salat was salam. And on Friday, we will be bringing up a topic and we will be discussing it, where I will be elaborating my thoughts and your thoughts, which you will be sending in to me on WhatsApp or through which our number I'll give you again is 07510769997. So moving on, I just quickly mentioned under two headings which Shaykh Ibn al-Qayyim wrote in an article on Madarij al-Salikin under the subject of dhikr. The first heading was where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to remember Him. The second heading were those verses which severely forbid us to forget Allah and neglect His remembrance. Now, the third heading, which has one verse under it, the third heading is that some verses that tell us that the secret of success lies in frequently remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, if we study the Quran, it has the cure for all our worries. Wallahi, we just recite the Quran, which is a good thing. We should recite the Quran on a daily basis, but at the same time, take out a few minutes to just understand what we are reading. And you will see that it is like a miracle happening. Many a times it happens that people tell me that when they are in a worry, when they have lost hope from everything, and then they turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and first thing they do is open the Quran, and they find the answer. They find the answer in the Quran to all the worries. So what we want to be successful. We want to be successful in this world, in our businesses, in our homes, successful at work, successful in our sports, in our health, everything. And more importantly, our main maqsad and goal, the purpose we have been sent into this dunya is so that we work so much that we gain success in the hereafter. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the secret of success lies in frequently remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. And remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a lot, kathiran, and remember Him much, so that لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, so that you can be successful, so that you may prosper. So that is the third heading which Shaykh Ibn al-Qayyim brings, that the secret of success lies in the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fourth heading which the Shaykh brings are those verses that praise those people who observe dhikr, who observe remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These verses assure them of mercy, forgiveness, and a great reward. And the characteristics of such people, such believing men and women are mentioned in Surah Al-Ahzab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ أَعَدَّ اللَّهُ لَهُم مَغْفِرَةً وَأَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says? And the men who remember Allah a lot, and the men who remember Allah much, وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ, and the women who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَعَدَّ اللَّهُ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for them forgiveness and a mighty reward. أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. And what is this for? This is just simply remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now different forms, I said there is this whole series that we're going to talk about dhikr. It will be about the importance of dhikr, how important. So we are already seeing from the verses that we have discussed, that have been mentioned, that how important it is. Number one, that it is a commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, it is forbidden. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala severely forbids that we forget Him. Number three is that we want success, then the secret of success lies in remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number four is the praise of those people, the reward for those people who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises them that He will prepare for them maghfirah, forgiveness, wa ajran azima, a great reward, a mighty reward. Under the fifth heading, Shaykh Ibn al-Qayyim, he brings those verses which warns those people who lose themselves in worldly pursuits and forget that they will be unsuccessful and hopeless. So it is about those people who lose themselves in worldly pursuits. They're after the world, and in the process they forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They forget Allah, and in return what will happen is that they will be unsuccessful and hopeless. So we see this ayah in Surah Al-Munafiqun, that يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون. Surah Al-Munafiqun mentions this ayah, that O you who believe, let not your children divert you from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let not your children. Why the mention of children? Because it is for the children we work. The worldly order is that we have a family, we have children, and when we have children, our commitments, our expenses, even though it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything increases. So we do everything for them. From the time it is born, we have to worry for its milk, for its clothing. Then in the beginning, every month it's like growing, so it's growing out of its clothes, so we have to go and buy new clothes, new shoes. Its diet is changing, it's coming on to more solid food, so food. extra expenditure on the food. And when it becomes